is delivered with just the perfect timing, the horseshoe of their dentures, as their head rears back, presenting themselves.
You have to ask another question. You can just go.
Presenting themselves to the male, of course.
I've heard that.
In an act of submission. Laughter, of course, is an act of submission. You may notice that I'm not laughing at you, but you're all laughing at me like baboons.
Thank you. But my question is, what was her name back in 24? Who were you? Gwendolyn. And
I was going to guess Brandy.
I was going to guess Barb. Yeah, you've been drinking a lot, I have to say.
I haven't. Gwendolyn is something I will never forget. But I do want to point out, I want to make the very important point that Valentine's Day is not a day for Gwendolyn to break the heart of Christopher Hitchens. I do not need any particular woman to make this heart beat. And in fact, one's emotions are not held in one's heart. And one's heart is not sort of a symmetrical shape as we are led to believe by St. Valentine. It is more of a blob that only has a physiological purpose. But Gwendolyn's actions against me,
you seem to be welling up with emotion.
There are no emotions. Emotions simply are evolutionary reactions to stimuli that are around us. And the stimulus that I see around me, that I saw when I was 24 with Gwendolyn, was my erstwhile fiancée, was one of a cunt, was one of...
Wait, hold on. First of all, if you're going to say that word, I mean, you can't say that word. I'd prefer you see that shit. And,
Cretin, please.
Yes, and,
I will not be censored. I will not be censored unless you wish to enter Indy 103.1 into the ranks of the Gestapo and Islamofascism.
Mr. Hitchens, she hurt you, didn't she?
Of course she hurt me. She hurt all of civilization, just like every woman has ever hurt all of us Hitchens. In a universal sense.
Gwendolyn, is she out there still?
She may be. I have made efforts to distance myself from her, but she may be indeed out there.
You need to go to her.
I do. The last thing I want to do right now is to reunite with someone whose vaginal region smells the way hers did. Of a saccharine sweetness. I prefer my labias, and I do have a taste. I do have a taste for the female parts, and I prefer them to taste sort of acerbic or vinegary, as opposed to the saccharine smell of someone who is sweetened by a false sort of celebration of love.
Valentine's Day is Sunday, and what would be more romantic, as I learned on Parks and Rec last night, written by Harris Whittles, than going to the woman that broke your heart?
Well, I would not be going back to her. I've bedded many women since then.
You need to get a hold of her and tell her how you feel, because obviously this is ruining your life.
She has that vinegar pussy, or you want that?
No, that's not the point.
I don't think you're ever going to find anybody that tastes acerbic ever again.
One does not need to get a hold of what has been the bane of one's existence. This woman, I assure you, I've distanced myself from. I have bedded many, many women. I need no help in that.
Yeah.
My ideal Valentine's Day, though, if that is what you would like to discuss, and I do in the appendix to my book, describe what a proper modern celebration of Valentine's Day would be.
He's crying. There are tears coming down Mr. Hitchens' face.
If I make him... I would not appreciate you selling me out on the radio. This is a medium that is not visual, and I would say fuck you, and I would say to your audience, all of your downloaders of your podcast, fuck all of you. I would want to continue to talk about what the ideal Valentine's Day...
I'm getting the sense that you don't mean any of those nasty words that you're saying. I think that you're a human filled with love, and you're just a soul that's crying out to be needed.
Yes, perhaps you've written too many scripts for television, Mr. Orkman, because there is...
I would say no, I have not.
I think he needs a hug from someone we could convince to give him a hug.
Yeah, the last thing I need is a hug.
None of us want to volunteer.
Maybe intern Doug Jeff.
It's so wet.
Valentine's Day ought to be spent in hunting women, hunting animals, celebrating outside a fire pit.
You need to hunt for some Kleenex to wipe those tears away, is what you need.
All
He needs to stop looking at my date book because I have all three of those things on my agenda for Sunday.
if you seriously would like to stick to the accusation that I am weeping here on your radio program, which
It's not an
I would
accusation.
strenuously deny I am not, if you wish to stick with that accusation, I would invite you to.
okay.
I would invite
It's
you.
okay.
I would invite you to waterboard me.
No, we
I
don't
would say
need to do that.
we should get a bottle right now.
No.
And we should lay me down. I will lay down right here and right now, and you can waterboard me. If you want, if you want to prove that the human species is incapable of enduring torture, then we must torture ourselves. Waterboard me now,
Scott, let us
Gwendolyn.
waterboard.
Waterboard me
All
now
right,
for love.
Let's waterboard him for love during the next song. Oh God.
Waterboarding himself.
Yeah, I
Put something out of a flask.
Mother Teresa's a cunt.
All right, let's go to a
bad.
song. Let's go to a song. When we come back, we have a very special guest calling in
Double fascism.
to keep with the Valentine's Day theme. Let's go to the next song. We'll be right back with Comedy Death Ray.